Hey everyone, it is Robert at Infinite Realms. Thank you for watching, and today we are going to review Mattel's Elite Legends, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. This one, Paul Orndorff came in, was going out right about the time wrestling was getting huge. I mean, he was in the main event of WrestleMania 1, so, props to Mr. Wonderful. That's a big achievement. And his finisher was one of those moves that's actually considered kind of dangerous now as a pile driver. Now, if executed correctly, like Mr. Wonderful and or Jerry Lawler can do, the move looks great. It looks like you're killing somebody. But if executed incorrectly, like some have done in the past, who got a little zealous, you're really going to hurt somebody. So you got to be careful about that, and that's one of those things. If you play wrestling, keep that in mind. If you notice, the pile driver's not been getting used that much anymore. I mean, they use the more Undertaker tombstone type anymore. The pile driver, as it was originally, is not used as much. So, yeah, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. He comes with a really nice robe. That, I don't think people understand. I mean, these wrestlers, this was considered a sport at the time, and they would do that kind of stuff like boxers would do. And it was part of their character, and it made sense to do that. And, Mr. Wonderful, he was a really put together guy. I can't remember too many matches of his at all, really. I remember one with Hulk Hogan. I remember, of course, the WrestleMania one. I couldn't even tell you what his WrestleMania 2. I think he was in WrestleMania 2, and I couldn't even tell you who the opponent was. If I had to guess, I'd say Bob Orton. I might be wrong. But, he played the powerful guy pretty well. And, it was a bit of a simpler time. There was a whole lot more, they weren't wrestling moves necessarily. I mean, they were just a lot of hitting and then a few moves here and there, and then boom. Yeah, it was the end of the match. It's a totally different era and totally different type of wrestling than what we see nowadays. But that doesn't make it bad. And that doesn't make this figure bad. And I believe Paul Orndorff wrapped up his career in WCW. He might be behind the scenes now. I don't know. I think I read that somewhere. But yeah, I mean, a character from a bygone age is really where Paul Orndorff lies. And sometimes, it seems like this one didn't sell too well. I got this very cheap, and that made me think, okay, people don't remember Mr. Wonderful, probably. So, and that's kind of a shame, because, I was looking at Greg Valentine, too, and he's way up there. I'm like, well, why do people remember Greg Valentine and don't remember Paul Orndorff? It's just weird to me, because they were probably about equal in my mind of stardom. Except, Valentine actually got a couple of titles, whereas Paul Orndorff did not. Of course, Vince liked people holding on to titles for years, and that's probably why. Yeah, thanks, we're back to that. It's so boring now. Thank you, Vince. Okay, so, I really find this to be an excellent figure. The face likeness is a little off, but you know what? With everything else about it being just really spot on, I can't in good conscience give it anything under 4 stars. It's just really nice, well put together figure of a legend of wrestling. And that's its purpose, and that's what it is. And let's face it, there's not going to be another Paul Orndorff action figure done in a very, very long time, if at all. So, I'm going to enjoy this one. Okay, that'll wrap it up for Infinite Realms. Don't forget to like and subscribe.